Right. Hello, hello. Welcome, my dudes, to the fourth episode of The Grind. I hope everyone's holidays have been going well. I'm a little sick myself. You can probably hear it in my voice, but holidays went fine. I survived, so that's good. Sharon, you survived as well.
Yeah, no, I actually had a really good Christmas. My parents hooked me up with some really great stuff, and got to spend some
Nice.
time with some family you don't get to see often, so it's always good.
Sweet, man. Yeah, I got a bunch of Jamba Juice gift cards. That was
Oh
about
yeah,
it. But good good times. Not the only thing. I got
I
we'll
was
get
about to,
into it. I got some iTunes gift cards as well,
yeah, I was about
and
to say.
may have uh, may have cashed them in. We will talk about that. I'm no longer free to play. I'm sorry, all you free to play listeners. I cashed in. I cashed out. I don't know. It's one of those two
Yeah.
things happened.
Either
Um,
way, you're now a pay to win pig. So.
I am. I basically I'm gonna be. You'll see me. I'm gonna be G3 next week now that
Yeah, I
I've
was about to say.
swiped the Mastercard. Um, but I wish. I wish that was, all that had to happen. But okay. Yeah, holidays were good. I know this cast has been. There's been a big gap between the last two, maybe almost 2 weeks by the time this comes out. I probably should have been more vocal about the fact that holidays were going to mess us up, but I wasn't. But here we are.
Right. And to be
So
fair to you guys out there, we were kind of playing it by ear. So
yeah,
it was a day to day thing where we were like, can we record today? Can we not? And we did try to make it happen, and it was just difficult
yeah,
with all the holiday stuff to get our schedules to line up. So we do apologize for that, but it should be much more consistent now with the holidays out of the way. We should be on a
yeah.
good schedule. So
Yeah, and before we get into our cast today, I just want to say I think our cast with Sean B, our interview with Sean B, went really well. We had a lot of really good feedback. We still had people joining the Discord and hitting us up in comments and on the Reddit thread and all of that. And we're getting a lot of positive feedback. And I just personally want to say that I really appreciate it. It's really really meaningful when you guys reach out and let us know what you like, what you want to hear, what you want to see. And I really enjoyed interviewing Sean B. We're going to interview Mystery Hunt soon. I've got to reach out to him and see when, maybe even the next cast. Not sure, but I really enjoyed the interviews. I really want to keep doing stuff like that. And if you guys have people you want us to interview, let us know. But I mean, we had a lot of great feedback, and I think it was a really good. I think it's the best episode we've done so far.
yeah, and it was a lot of fun for sure. Getting to talk with someone who's been in the game a lot longer than you and I both have,
Yeah,
and just kind of hearing his experience with the evolution of PvP and kind of how it's going and where it's been. Yeah, it was really great. And also just having like the three different levels too of like
yeah,
RTA experience on the cast was interesting. Someone kind of getting into it. He's pretty in game, and I haven't really even used any RTA wings at all. So
yeah.
um,
So it's. I mean, I'm interested, Jen, too, to see you get to the point where you're enjoying RTA. I think you will. I know you don't like it right now, but give yourself. I don't know. I think definitely within 6 months, but probably even like 3 or 4 months. I think you're going to be feeling pretty good about RTA and actually having some fun times there and getting some good wins and stuff that we can be talking
sure,
about. So I'm excited to see your progress there too.
yeah,
But
and
but it was good.
anyway, yeah. So with the new year, we've kind of decided we're gonna try to do some resolutions. Um,
Yeah,
I have one big one that I've been really bad about myself. I have to be much more diligent about actually leveling fodder. I play the game pretty passively as it is, and that's one of the reasons why I don't do RTA as much even now. But um, yeah, I have
yeah.
come to see the light, as they
Mm-hmm.
say. The biggest step for me was buying the 2-star fodder from the shop. Um, I didn't realize how much of a difference it really does make in how quickly you can level stuff. And like I I had some fodder saved, and I was like, I don't know who to 6-star. I don't know who to 6-star. I was making a big deal about it. I was like, I don't 6-star very often, so I want to do something that's going to help me with TOAH. But what if I don't need to do TOAH, and like one 6-star is not going to help me clear TOAH? And then I was like, well, maybe dragons, since I don't have speed dragons. And I was like just agonizing over it. And then like I had made the decision, like I was going to start buying the fodder. And before I even made the decision, I already had fodder pretty much lined up for another 6-star, which came in handy actually as it happens. So
yeah, I mean, it's every day, dude. I do that, and like occasionally, I hate to admit it, but occasionally I'll do like some random shop refreshes, you know, because I guess I'm Mystery Hunt. Sorry to get off track, but Mystery Hunt made a video talking about what he liked about Summoner's War. And one of his main points was that it's like free gambling, and I'm fairly confident I'm like hardcore addicted to gambling, because occasionally I'll just be like, you know, screw it, I'm having a bad day, man, I'm gonna refresh the shop until there's a mystical scroll in there, and I buy all the fodder while I'm doing it. But it's, you know, I get all those fodder while it helps me 6-star things fast, but you know, buying all those fodder, refreshing the shop, like whatever, like just every chance I get, I'm always buying fodder from the shop. And it's made a huge difference for me, like our rate at which we've been 6-starring stuff. Like I've been pulling ahead more and more as far as 6-stars go, whereas our rune quality is actually pretty much the same. I would say, maybe you would argue that, but as far as 6-stars go, I have quite a lot more. But I'm glad, you know, it should be like a week to a week and a half. Like, oh no, I accidentally 6-starred a bat. Like, who cares? You wasted, you know, like, who cares? You'll have another one in a week or a week and a half. Like, it shouldn't be that agonizing. And that's the other decision too, is like, this thing I'm 6-starring right now, am I going to be able to use it? You know, and like the 6-stars that you make between free rune removals, they almost don't matter most of the time, because they're usually not on good enough runes to be useful in between free rune removal and stuff. So that's nice. What else, dude? Do you have any more, you know, resolutions, or is it just making more 6-stars and buying fodder?
I mean, that's going to be the big one, right? Like, that's the one thing I felt like was really starting to hinder me, was I just didn't have 6-star units. Like, I was trying to run speed giants, and I wanted to use, you know, chilling, and he wasn't 6-star, and I wanted to try necro, and I have Lauren, and Lauren wasn't 6-star, and like, it made it inconsistent. So like, that was one thing I felt like was holding me back. And TOAH was the same. Like, I just couldn't clear TOAH hard, and it all came down to just like not having the units built. So my hindrance wasn't runes at that point. It was like building monsters, and it was something that was really holding me back more than I even realized. So yeah, that's definitely a big one. But you know, we talk about rune quality. One thing that Keith and I did here recently, and this was just kind of offhand, off topic, but we looked at our fastest violent sets, just no other stats, just speed. And I was really proud of this. I have a Felleria, who's the light dryad, if you guys aren't familiar. And she's my raids cleanser, and I have her built right now on like super fast set. I think she's 240 on violent. So I wanted to see how fast my set was, and I think if I remember correctly, I was at plus 139 speed with my fastest set. She wasn't on the fully fastest set. There were a couple changes I could make to make her faster, but it didn't make sense. So then we looked at yours, right? And you had, what was it, plus like 144, plus 142, somewhere in there? Like pretty close, right?
Yeah, it was pretty close. I upgraded since then, though, with those reacts.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's true.
It's actually about plus 161 now.
Ouch.
Yes.
Well,
I have that precise number written down or anything. But yeah, it's 161 now, which is still blows my mind, because you see people with like 180 or like 190 or something. Like, you'll see almost 300 speed. Maybe I'm bullshitting right now. Like almost 300 speed violent Molongs and stuff. Like, that's a thing, right? I'm not crazy. Like 280 speed violent Molong, which is broken.
Insane.
But
yeah. Well, and that's another thing.
Trash.
I did have a re-app too, very recently. That might have increased mine too, but I don't know if it'd been that significant. But yeah, so then we like looked at how many legend 6-star violent runes we both had, and I had 4. 2 of them came from an event, and one of them was crafted, and I don't remember where the other one was.
But... And Are those 6-star legend violent runes, or are those just
Yeah.
legend?
No. They were
Okay.
six-star legend violent runes, and you had what, like 11, 12, somewhere
Yeah, I
around.
think I have 12 now, but
Okay.
that's not a lot. It's a very small number, and
Very,
I
yeah.
need more. I've been crafting wool runes though, and I did get a really good one the other day, which I'm still trying to re-app. Okay, I got a really bad one the other day, but it's a slot 4 HP percent, so I'm trying to re-app it into a really good one.
Right. And I think this actually transitions into luck too, for sure. So one thing that I
Yeah.
did over break.
Well, really quick. My New Year's resolutions. I don't
Oh,
need to dive in.
sorry.
No. Just real fast. I'm not gonna buy any premium packs for the entire year. That can fuck off. All right. I'm gonna use my crystals efficiently. Um, and I know this is like it's a stupid goal, I guess technically, but I'm not gonna try and spend any money on the game until next holiday season, right? Because like uh I I was free to play. Obviously, I cashed in some sweet gift cards and things and bought the trans scroll, which we'll talk about with luck. Um, and I mean, I don't know. I'm still considering how it's changed my own gameplay, but my goal is to not spend any money. I mean, obviously, I'm a fucking gambling addict, so let's not let's not go down that
Feed the
route.
fire.
Yeah, so at least till next year's trans scroll basically is my goal. As far as my spending goes, not summoning any premium packs, and then I want to get, I mean, I don't know what my year goal is. I know my like short term goal is to get to like C1 in RTA. Maybe the year goal would be like C3 in RTA. Like I think maybe by the end of the year I could get C3 in RTA, and
That'd be
I'd
sick.
fucking love to do stuff in Arena. I don't actually care about Arena. Maybe I'm just a stupid person. I don't know what that would translate to. I don't know what C3 and RTA would translate to Arena. Like, G1 maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I doubt that actually sounds unrealistic for me. But I want to get better at stuff. That's it. That's the main thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's all really good. I think that I actually am going to try not to buy premium packs either.
Yeah.
It's really bad. I find myself running out of crystals, and that's like the only reason I even spend money on the game in the first place.
You're always like, dude, I'm out of crystals. I'm like, bro, like, what are you talking about? You're like, look, I had 800 crystals and bought a premium pack. And it's like,
TOAH reset
okay.
was yesterday. What are you doing?
Yeah, like it's hilarious when stuff like that happens. But yeah, no premium packs, no spending money.
I'll spend money. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna drop $30
Yeah.
every 2 months probably, because I buy premium packs. So maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
No, I mean, I don't think. I mean, especially for you, man, I'm doing a wasted XP run right now. Especially for you, I think it totally makes sense. It's just for me, like I debated really heavily on even buying the trans scroll, and then
Right. Well, and here's my thought. Right, and we talk about this with Sean B. And there are some units that are exceptional, but it's not the monsters that make you progress in this game necessarily.
No.
They can definitely help, and there are some monsters out there that are going to make the rune quality that you have. What am I trying to say? So if rune quality was an issue beforehand, there are some monsters where you might be able to get just a little bit further with the same rune quality. But at the end of the day, rune quality is going to matter 100 times more than the monsters that you have. And so I kind of want to, I can say that. I want to live it at the same time.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Anyway.
Well, and the horrifying truth for me is like, I mean, I got this trans scroll and I did get a nice monster from it, but like I have too many monsters, man. I don't have enough devil mons. I don't have enough like fodder to 6-star everything. Like I'm suffering from success right now, basically. I have too many things I need to work on and skill up, and like me spending money, especially on anything that's like summon centric. Like, if I were gonna spend money, it would be on reappraisal packs. Number one, like as in like buy all of them every time they came out. And then honestly, like devil mons or something. Like I don't know, the immemorial grindstone packs. I'm not sure. But monsters are, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you don't need that many monsters. I think Mystery Hunt made a video and he used something like 8 monsters, the most, for his RTA, for his G1 finish. He used 8 monsters. Like there was a couple, stray monsters in and out of there, but like, and I get it. Those are 8 strong monsters, and you had to pull a bunch of different ones to get there. But at the end of the day, like if you can come up with a good team, you don't need that many. You don't need that many 6 stars. It's about rune quality and the runes you have and the grinds and there's so many other things. So yeah, I mean that's why my goal's there is like, well, I mean honestly, the only fucking reason I'm not going to spend money is because I'm a gambling addict and I'll die. Even my life will be even sadder than it already is if I start spending money on the game.
Well, and that's also a solid reason,
Yeah,
that's good self-awareness. Honestly, like people might say one thing or another, but like having the self-awareness to know that is also good. So, now we're gonna move on to luck, which is we were talking about our runes earlier. I don't even know if this was before the last cast or not. It probably wasn't, but I had a great craft. I crafted a slot 4 will crit damage rune with just some leftover stuff from leftover stuff. Like I craft violent first, and I had probably like 12 of the fire, whatever they're called, left over, and so I crafted some will runes, and I got 2 of them, and it wasn't even a legend actually. It was purple. It was the hero, and triple rolled speed with an attack substat on it. So I've got like this 19 speed, 14% attack, slot 4 6-star crit damage will rune, and it really is beautiful even for like a purple rune. And I actually speed grinded that and got a +4 on it, so it's actually 23 speed now, which feels really good. And I also re-apped a slot 5 violent, and that netted a 21 speed rolled into that with I believe it was an HP roll as well. So it was a triple speed roll on that rune. That felt really good too. Which that came from the trans pack that I got, which is something else that we were going to talk about. So I actually bought my trans pack before Keith. I didn't have the patience. I've been debating. I was like, I need to see what money I'm going to get from family and like all this other stuff. And then I was like, you know what? It's not that big a deal. My wife won't leave me.
I knew you were going to buy it. The moment they came out with like with the blessings, like, because you didn't buy it last year, but you like ended up spending more money on like random packs in the same month than you would have on the trans pack. But yeah, the fact that you couldn't get a dupe, I was like, you're gonna buy this. I know you're gonna fucking buy this.
So truth be told, I bought the other pack as well, the one that came with like a legend scroll that was elemental. I've been trying to get Shayna, so I picked fire. I got the fire mysticals from it as well, and that was a good buy. I pulled a dupe Moon, but it was awoken, so it was worth it because I actually haven't built mine since I don't need one yet. So that was nice. It was 5-star awoken and was cool. And then I ended up buying the trans pack too. And so any of you guys who have listened to all the casts, like TOAH has been the bane of my existence for probably the past month and a half. And I rolled that scroll, got the blessing, and I had the choice between the Water Lightning Emperor, or Water Emperor, not Lightning. Is it Lightning Emperor? No,
yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. Water Lightning Emperor.
That just sounded weird. The Water Lightning Emperor or Verad. And I thought about it for like half a second, really. Half a second of thought, and then I was like, I have a Verad. So it was super cool. I had some fodder that I mentioned earlier, already saved up. So I actually 6-starred Mav and Verad same day. And I've moved from clearing like I wasn't able to clear like 50 boss consistently in TOAH Hard, and I'm on the Acroma stage right now, TOAH 67. So definitely helped a lot. But again, it's runes over monsters, and that's kind of what we've hit on. Like I've cleared 17 more stages, but I'm probably not going to clear TOAH this month, even with a Verad. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll move past this Acroma stage after FRR, and I can rune some stuff up specifically for the stage. But we'll see. Maybe it's just having the right monsters rune the right way. But either way, like Verad did help, and it did like create a high or a lower barrier of entry for me, and has been a lot of fun to build and play with. He's not deviled yet, which is also another big thing. I'm still finishing up my Felleria, and then I'll devil him. But yeah, I had some really good luck in getting the Verad for sure, and really been enjoying using him and seeing like how big of a help he is in TOAH. So
yeah, man. Well, we'll circle back. You might have more luck, but I'll really quickly talk about my my recent summons. Transpack. Cracking my free-to-play cherry, which I will stop talking about or saying that phrase ever again.
Appreciated, for sure.
Yeah, really sorry, everyone, that you had to hear that. Okay, yeah, so I summoned my Transpack, and my choice was between, guess what, Verad and the water monkey. Mei Hao Wang, I think his name is. Maybe not. Maybe that's wrong. I'm not going to say the water monkey. All right, water monkey king. And I know he'd just gotten buffed, and I thought about it for a second because my RTA team was in dire need of something like the water monkey with strip and CC and a damage dealer that's not fire. Sean B pointed out I need to be using Theomars, and I know that, but Verad, man, I mean, even for me, even though I can clear TOAH hard, HOHs, I can't always clear the 10th floor. I'm always trying to use like Verad reps. I'm trying to use a bunch of stuff. My auto success in TOAH hard. I mean, it's not fun. It's like 2 days of me grinding to clear TOAH hard, So I couldn't pass up Verad for a flavor of the month monster, the water monkey. For any of you watching this on YouTube, you might see a spoiler alert down there. That something else happened, but so I chose Verad. He's still 5-star. I'm going to 6-star him. I'm going to skill him up. I'm going to be using him in TOAH. But I have Ganny Poseidon. I mean, it was kind of a tough choice, but I went with Verad because I know how consistent and strong he is. Even if I'm not going to use him in RTA, I think he will help me in PvE, and he will make it so that I can put better runes on PvP monsters and have more mediocre runes on my PvE teams for things like TOAH and HOH and all of that. That's why I went with Verad over the water monkey. And then I had some good reaps, some plus, I think like basically some triple roll speed violent rune reaps. From those reaps, I've been farming reaps myself. Just decent luck on things like that. And then fast forward to last night, about an hour and a half after New Year's, I logged in and got my my one mystical scroll from the 7 Days of New Year event, and then there's a mystical scroll in the shop, the guild shop. So I bought that, and then I was like, here we go. My also Jaren and I will talk about it, but we're going to be tracking our summons at least for this month to see how many we do.
And it was the second of the year.
Yeah, and if it's not awful, maybe we'll do it, the whole year or something. I don't know if that's a New Year's resolution. I don't want to commit to that. But I've been tracking mine too. But yeah, so first one I summoned, I got an awakened, a 4-star awakened like war bear or something, and I was like, weird. All right, what a weird way to start off the new year. And then second scroll I summoned. And I still had that blessing of, that blessing. Jaren, you still have yours, right? You have you haven't summoned. Yeah. So I had that, and I immediately knew it was a nat 5 because it was lightning and I couldn't skip it. So just so in the future, if you have that blessing, I'm like, holy shit, it's a nat 5. And lo and behold, my choices were between Verad and the water monkey. The exact same choice I had from the trans scroll.
Which I did some rough math, guys, and this is rough, and I'm not a mathematician, and I used rounded numbers, which you never do.
You can quote him on this number, guys. You can quote him.
It's roughly one in a 1.3 million chance. And if anyone out there is better at math than me, or you want to get actual figures on it, go ahead. But very low probability of that. So I'm
Yeah.
keeping my eye out. When I summon my next nat 5, we're going to see what it's going to be. But that's
Yeah.
also an interesting mechanic that might be an insight into how the summons are actually seeded into the game as well.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
It is, and we've seen things where I watched a video. I sent it to you. Like this person they summoned. They had a choice between like I don't know what it was. It was two monsters. They summoned one, and then like they chose one, and then their next nat 5 was the other one. But also I saw a person who summoned one, and then they chose one, and then their next nat 5 was the exact same dupe. Um, I don't know. I think it might be confirmation bias, but it was wild to see the exact same choice between the same two monsters. Like I was trying not to focus on it, trying to not to think like all these like water monkey spotlights coming out, watching videos of like Beat D just soloing people with the water monkey and being like, "Did I make a mistake?" And here we are. I have the water monkey as well, and I'm actually like gonna probably build him faster than Verad. I just couldn't pass the Verad up. But at the end of the day, I ended up, you know, a little bit of pay to win, a little bit of luck, and I got both of them surprisingly.
yeah, which is nice. Yeah, and now, like, you were talking about struggling to clear the HOH, and you'll have your own Verad,
Yeah.
but you can also use mine as my rep, and I just switched it because you were bitching about my Chow earlier, taking
Your
4 minutes.
Chow is, oh, you scammed me, man, with that Chow. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I mean, yeah, and Verad is a great rep monster. Honestly, I think I have Leica right now as my rep monster because I wanted to have my dupe Rockies and my Asthma in the background, so I couldn't set her as my rep. So I just I had to put Leica in there, but now I'll probably eventually put Verad in there. Because I know he does good work.
Just so you know, guys, my Chow is baller. He's just built 40k HP and 156 speed. So
yep.
He's
does Aiden in 4.5 minutes, and it makes me want to die. But yeah, okay. So anything else? Any other luck for you, Jaren?
Yeah, I did actually. So I was not hoping for Verad. I don't know what I was hoping for. Just anything, maybe an Oracle. I don't know. A Nat 5. That's what I was hoping for, and that's what I was gonna get. So I got the Transpact and got a Verad, and it was super cool. And then was it like 2 days later? I got the legendary scroll from the event. I had pieces that I also had accumulated, so I summoned 2 legendary scrolls and got like my 4th wind jack-o'-lantern, and that was super sad. But then I got lapis, and I was like, "What?" Now I get lapis.
Yeah.
They give me lapis after I get a Verad. So I don't know if I'm gonna build him yet or not. I did 5-star him and awaken him just to see if I wanted to build them.
Yeah.
But then I got actually an L&D lightning, super rare,
Whoa.
heart-stopping moment. Yeah, and I was like, "What's it gonna be? It's a Nat 5. I know it." And it was Siege, the Dark Samurai. It wasn't a Nat 5, but
yeah,
we. I looked into it, and the only thing I could find was all older stuff. So honestly, guys, if you had feedback on Siege, is Siege worth it? Do I build him? I've seen that he's very good at what he does, which is AoE nuking. He can be used in arena, but it looks like he takes like quite a bit of setup. So yeah, if you guys have any help on that, just let me know, because honestly, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with him yet. So I did have that luck as well. My second L&D lightning in a long time, probably a year and a half at least of consistent playing.
It's exciting to get L&D lightning. Like I think my most recent one, which was like over a year ago now, was like a Pang, which I haven't built her yet, haven't done anything with her yet, but it still feels nice to occasionally like look through my storage and like see her and be like, yeah, one day, And I think it gives you, like, oh, one day I'll build this, monster that, people haven't. Like I have Ashabel, the 2-turn sleep dark sylphid, that one day I want to build and try and combo with Ganny and pretend it's like a budget Hathor, a weird bad budget Hathor with no strip on S2, and I've thought about it a lot. It sucks. It's bad.
Didn't your initial like TOAH normal team clear with like pretty much Ganny Ashabel? Isn't that like what you were
Yes,
using?
correct. And that's literally how I cleared TOA 100 for the first time, was just sleeping everything constantly. It was great. Um, but yeah, okay. So TOA teams, man. I know we already touched on it a bit. You're using Verad. We want to talk about just a few other things. We want to talk about TOA. We want to talk about free rune removal a little bit, and then any other final thoughts for this episode. My TOA team. I'll just talk about that for a second because it's stupid and broken. I
Totally
use
free to play, guys.
very
It really is
very
a free to play team.
friendly. I mean, I got the team as a free to play player, you know, before I was paid to win.
Well,
But
yeah, if you don't mind, actually, could you tell us your team like before and after Verad so that we can kind of see the difference?
yeah, well, Verad is not even in my team, but
Okay.
basically, Ganny, Poseidon, are the core of the team, and then if I'm autoing, I throw Ariel in there, for the heals, and then Beretta and Asima usually. So they're both AoE daughters. I also have twins now, which can just like auto all the way. Like you literally just put your twin team in and hit auto, and it'll clear everything. So that's actually really my real TOA team is just twins. I don't know if I'm ever going to use Verad, but it might be like, I don't know, like Poseidon, Verad, twins, and Colleen or something. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I think Verad definitely goes in for either Ganny or Poseidon, but
yeah.
Whatever. The point is very non free to play, non cookie cutter, but like Ariel is what actually got me to clear TOA 100. TOA normal, I did the very basic shit, like I think like Beretta, Spectra, I don't know, whatever, that kind of stuff. The free to play friendly stuff. My TOA hard team now is just a big cluster of all these other good CC monsters and dots and twins and
you didn't really have a good healer before you pulled Ariel, right? Like your best healer was what, like Colleen or Bella?
Yeah, so my limiting factor, exactly, like those were my two healers, and my limiting factor on autoing was that like my auto team was never not going to take hits, and I didn't have a healer that could keep me up. So it was like I'd have to manual from 60 to 100, and that was like 10 to 20 minutes of floor. And it was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. And I pulled Ariel and immediately autoed up, into the 90s with different team comps that I already had set up. And then was able to, I mean, I didn't use Ariel for the boss, but same concept, right. Basically. Ariel enabled my team to auto. I didn't have a reviver and I didn't have a good healer because I don't have Chesun, and it was just like I can't auto. I cannot auto, and I can't convince myself to manual past 60. So Ariel was the one that changed that for me, and I cleared TOA hard the second I pulled Ariel and 6-starred. But it's just gotten easier and easier since then as I pulled more monsters. But yeah, you've been traditionally you've been struggling with it. I know there's like free to play teams I've seen like clear TOA 100 that used Lapis, Spectra, Mav, Beretta, and
probably like Gildong.
No, I don't know if it would. Yeah, maybe Gildong. Maybe not. I don't know. There's some like there's like some very free to play friendly TOA hard teams that you haven't been able to build because you didn't have Lapis until this exact moment. And Lapis was like very crucial on all of those, I remember. It's possible. Like TOA hard doesn't need to be done with any kind of like crazy nat 5s, and I think that's really interesting. You get monsters with speed and CC, and you get a bit lucky. Sometimes you rerun a floor, but you can do it with a really nice free to play team. But yeah, I mean, what's your experience been, Sharon? Like how do you think it like how pulling Verad changed your plan, and how do you think your plan is going to continue to progress as you like try and clear TOA 100?
Well, yeah. So the thing that I was struggling with was putting all the pieces together, right? Like you need some attack bar manipulation, you need a speed slow, and you need to stun so that they don't move as much, right? Like you have to CC them, keep them from moving, and then manipulate the attack bar a little bit. So I was struggling to find a 5-stack, really, is what it was, of units that I could use. I didn't have Lapis, and you also, the speed buff from Mav is also pretty big too, so that's super helpful, and he reduces cooldowns and does a lot of other useful stuff. So my core units that I knew I were going to have were Beretta and Mav. You know, the dots to kill and the speed buff and cooldown cycling and turn cycling as well with the speed buff and everything. So those were the two I knew I was going to have. And then it's, okay, how am I going to keep them from moving now with those two units? So, you know, you put Beretta on Despair, you get a stun or two on a floor. And then I was looking at units like Gildong. And there were a couple reasons I didn't like that setup. You know, if you miss a speed slow with Spectra for whatever reason, or you miss a stun or anything, like it just wasn't super comfortable yet. And so then I actually thought, well, okay, I can add Lupinus into that. And
which I never liked. I'm sure you heard me hating on Lupinus a lot, but go on.
So Lupinus actually is very interesting in that he has attack bar manipulation on his S3. He has speed slow on his S1, which are both AoE. And then he also has, his S3 is also like enemy HP scaling, so he's good for boss stages. And his S2, what does his S2 do? Oh, it's not an AoE, it's 3 hits, and it'll silence someone. So silencing boss, like his entire kit is very appealing to me anyway, when you look at it on paper for TOAH. So I considered that, but at the end of the day, like Spectre would kill himself because he didn't have a healer, and he can't actually kill himself, but he would be at 1 health, and then if anything ever moved and actually did hit him, he was dead. So there goes like reliable speed slow. And so there were just like a bunch of issues, right? And so Verad helped kind of condense a lot of that, like needing multiple units and backups for it. He condensed it all into one unit for me. He's got the freeze, attack bar control, and then a second freeze. And that is why it was such a game changer for me, because then I can build, Verad, Mav, Beretta, and then Spectra for speed slow, and I can have a +1 in there, and that +1 can be stage dependent. And a lot of times it's been Vero actually, but I've also been using like other healers, depending on like what the floor is. I actually even built my basalt, or I say built, I 5-star basalt, and like I was still manualing some floors because I just like wasn't happy with just how consistent I was being. So I was like, I'm gonna manual and see how it is. And like on manual, like I hardly ever even needed Verad's S2 to freeze anything. Like I wasn't ever desperate and needed that, and like was hoping to get some like clutch freezes off with that. Like I could run it, and I made it as far as I did without really much grief or anything. There wasn't like stages I was struggling on, like even the boss stage at 60. I think I failed once, and then like after that I cleared it. And now I'm actually stuck on the Achromas. They're what's getting me now. So I'm going to re-rune Vero to just like tank the Achromas on FRR, and hopefully I can clear 67 and then push. I'm at least hoping to clear 70. Like 70 was my goal this month anyway. I wanted to clear 70, and Verad's, I think, going to make that possible for sure. So it's all, it's been a lot of fun pulling Verad. I don't necessarily encourage everyone to like go out and just spend money to like summon monsters, because there's so much more that goes into it than that. But I was at a place where like I needed to just build the units, and Verad honestly was also encouragement for me to build my TOAH units. Like I hadn't six-starred any of them.
If you were going to summon one monster that was going to make a difference, regardless of your rune quality, Verad is that monster for TOAH. So I think you got quite lucky there, and I'm really happy that you did. It made that trans scroll super worth it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it was really good for me. And my regular TOAH team, my rune quality was good enough where I could pretty much just run like, it's not necessarily a speed team per se, but it's been like Lucian, Sig, Nuker Vero, and that was pretty much the core of it plus
Yeah.
2, and I could clear pretty much all the stages. So it hasn't been very difficult. Yeah, and Beretta would be in there sometimes too for like speed lead or whatever for boss stages, attack bar reset, whatever, and Hua sometimes as well. But like the between TOAH normal and like TOAH hard, it's such a big difference in like the rune quality you need. So I just needed to build an actual team, and Verad was really the encouragement to do that, along with being a solid unit to really help with the barrier of entry for me anyway.
Definitely.
So,
well, sweet, man. I'm happy to, I'm that you will clear TOAH 100 soon, and then be as excited for like the 15th of the month as I am.
Yeah.
But I really do enjoy it, and I think Verad's like a huge step toward you getting there, and like figuring out exactly what your pitfalls are now. You know what I mean? Like, you have the core of what you need, and now it's like, okay, what would help me with these problem stages? And that's what you can focus on now. And once you beat these achromas, you'll know how to beat it next time, So you're never gonna have to, it's cool. It's good. And you'll get the fun experience of figuring out how to beat both bosses in TOAH hard, and that'll be fun to hear about too. So I guess the final thing before we close it out is free rune removal, which I think your plan is pretty simple. So I'll start with mine, which is also simple. Right now I'm running dragons, and I have some stuff running for PvP and TOAH and this and that. Because January is Special League, and I'm making I don't know if it's a hard choice, maybe it's an easy choice for me. I'm making the choice to basically prioritize my PvE stuff in January. I'm not going to worry about putting my best runes on anything other than like my dungeon team, which is going to be Necro for January for me. So I'm going to run Necro all through January, and then at the end of January, which is basically when Special League is over, I'm going to rune my raid team. I'm going to put like my best stuff on my R5 team, and I'm basically going to run R5 for a month. So the next 2 months are going to be spent focusing on PvE for me. Of course, I'm still going to have PvP stuff built. It just won't be on my best sets. But after those 2 months, hopefully the next free rune removal after those, I'm going to have really decently grinded runes, enough will sets, enough, decent violent sets to be able to try and push for C1 in RTA. And I know that they changed the ranking in RTA, like the points. So maybe C1 is not actually where I'll be pushing for. It might be above that, depending on how everyone else is doing and how it all shakes out. But that's my general goal, man. I'm basically switching from dragons to necro, and I'm going to run a lot of necro to try and bulk up. I want rage runes. I don't have like a decent rage set yet. It's better than fatal, so I want rage, like at least 1 or 2 rage sets, and I want more will runes so that I don't have to like put these crazy good violent, not that I have crazy good violent runes, but like my best violent runes, and then coupled with like a weird 5-star will rune to just make a will set. I want a decent number of will runes to like actually complete that.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got that sick slot 6 will rune on Granny. That's nice.
Yeah, it's super sick. I don't know if we talked about it, but I have a magic slot. It was a default grade magic slot 6 rune, but it was like, it must have been a 6-speed magic rune I got from like World Boss, and I rolled it, and it rolled like it maxed out. So it was like plus 12 speed. And then every other roll was like a % roll, like, so it's fine, man. I didn't think I was that guy to have a magic rune anywhere. But yeah, so I do need better will runes if I'm going to push for anything in the C1 to 3 range in RTA, and I need more grinds again. I did a push for raids maybe 6 months ago to like grind all my random stuff then, but I've had plenty of better pulls, and I'm very out of grinds, so I'm going to try and push for raids, and we'll see. But that's more than just free rune removal plan, but that's like where my progression at the beginning of the year is going to be pushed towards. But what about you, Jaren? Are you free rune removaling anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tank up my Vero, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna try again at a faster Dragons theme. Like I said, I play passively, and the 2 minute runs aren't always bad, but there are times where 2 minute runs feel like I'm watching, because I'll watch it sometimes. I'm like watching the life drain out of me as like Bella defense breaks one at a time, and like it slowly dies.
Yeah.
And it's just it's horrendous. So I'm gonna try again at a speed Dragons team. I think I'm probably gonna 6-star Chilling next. I probably should 6-star Beretta next, but my plan is to also push for R5 probably in the next. I will probably try with you, Keith, and see if I can get a team together. That way we can run together. But it might be a little further down the road. Like, I just need some decent violent runes. I've got, like my Fellery is on 240, but my Colleen and Chasoon that I've been using are a little slower. I think Chasoon's like, she's super tanky, but she's at like 174. And if I plus 15 to her speed rune, I could have her over like what would it be, like 183 or whatever, plus 9. But
yeah, I think if you can do another good month of Dragons, I think you'll be able to do R5. The only question is if you'll be able to do it without a damage reducing passive. But we will find out. I'm willing to waste a lot of energy to find out. So
yeah, and I think it'll become clear. Like even the team that I have now, actually, like I can run R5, and if I get an attack break right after third jump, and then a heal, I can survive with no one dying. But that's a very specific set of things that I need. So it's like, it feels like I'm just on the cusp of like really having the team that I need. And that, like, I would also need a consistent attack break through like the rest of raids as well. So I'm sure if there were moments where like attack break was down for whatever reason for any extended period of time, like my team might start to look a little shabby. But
I think the only thing that you're a little over optimistic on is, I mean, for every team, like anyone's R4 team can run R5 until that jump,
right.
And that third jump, like no team fails before the third jump. So the fact that your team makes it to the third jump and then fails based on specific circumstances is like, yeah, duh. Like that's, yeah, like you could put your Giants team in there and it would fucking run it until that third jump. It's just a matter of being able to have the survivability and the damage to get through it after that third jump that a lot of teams suffer from. So I hope you're able to get there. I know there are some people that do that, but it's definitely the exception to the rule, not having a damage reducer. So I hope it doesn't hold you back. But worst case, you have Darian, right? You have him somewhere.
No,
so,
I don't. I don't have Darian.
So you have to go into the secret dungeon channel.
Yep. That is something that I would have to do.
You should start right now, honestly. You should start finding your Darian as soon as possible.
I will probably not build a Darian. Now, would you and other listeners, feel free to like answer the question, but would you, Keith, kick me out of R5 if you saw my Wind Monkey? It
depends on what the rest of your team was. If you had like a nice looking 3 DPS team or everything else looked decent, I probably wouldn't immediately kick you out for Wind Monkey. Like, same reason like I don't get immediately kicked out for Aerial, because Aerial's not useful other than heals. It's not a Chasoon, but the rest of my team is solid. So
right,
a Wind Monkey, yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's your worst case scenario. You 6-star your Wind Monkey and you put him on your raids team and you just tell people to shove it. And it'll be me and you anyway. You know what I mean? Like, we'll be running together. Yeah. If it works, it works,
So maybe
but that's the thing. Like, if it works, who cares what people's perception are? Because we'll be in charge of the team and just be looking for a +1. But if it doesn't work, that's where the problem is. Where we bait someone into your Wind Monkey team and then we fail on the third jump. That's a little, it's a little brutal. So I hope it works.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how that works. I have some time to figure it out. So, I'll probably do some testing on my own too and see kind of what happens. But anyway, you got anything else you want to add, Keith? I think I'm out of stuff.
No, I think that's it. Just join our Discord, guys. Hit us up, comment, harass us on Reddit, tell us that you love us or hate us. Reach out, communicate, and thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope you guys had decent luck with your trans trolls and stuff. I mean, if you're listening to this, let us know, man. Let us know what you summoned. Let us know what your luck was. Comment on YouTube. Comment on Reddit. Let us tell us what went down, dude. We want to know what your guys' experiences are too. And thank you guys all for tuning in and listening. Hopefully, we'll have Mystery Hunt on here in a week or two, and I won't be as sick, so my voice will sound just as weird. But yeah, that's it for me, man. How about you, Jern? Close us out.
Yeah, no, we appreciate all the feedback, guys, and if you have anything to add, just let us know. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Yep, see you next week.